Hey everybody, Xpree here, welcome to the channel. Let's talk about Naxxramas Shadow Priest Consumes. Naxxramas is of course the final raid in World of Warcraft Classic until the historic The Burning Crusade expansion came out. And understandably, it is the most difficult raid in World of Warcraft Classic with a whopping 15 total bosses, tons of damage throughout the raid, and lots of interesting, nuanced mechanics. If you're going to be raiding this challenging raid in a guild or maybe with a group you string together, you want to make sure you're prepared. So hopefully these recommended consumables will be useful to you and you can clear some bosses and pursue and maybe even acquire some of that sweet, sweet, epic loot. I've broken the recommended consumables into 3 categories. We have resistance consumes, situational consumes, and general use consumes. I would bring all of these to the raid, and depending on where your guild or group is in progression, you may want more or less of a recommended amount. Please feel free to play around with the numbers and find something that works for you. In terms of resistance potions, Greater Fire Protection Potion times 10. You're going to want these for the 4 Horsemen fight and Grand Widow Faerlina. Greater Nature Protection Potion times 10. You want these for Noth, potentially Thaddius, and Grobbulus, as well as some trash pulls. Greater Frost Protection Potion times 10 or more if you ever make it to the Sapphiron and Kel'Thuzad fights. There is a ton of frost damage on those fights. It looks really nasty. I'm kind of nervous to do those fights if I get there. Greater Shadow Protection Potion times 10. You're going to use these on 4 Horsemen and Noth. And then, just to save the budget a little bit, and because most guilds are going to be in progression for a while, feel free to bring some lower consumes, like Normal Nature Protection times 5, Normal Shadow Protection times 5, Normal Frost Protection times 5, and then the last Elixirs of Poison Resistance. You're going to want to bring some of those for the trash, and then Powerful Anti-Venom for Grand Widow Faerlina. I'd bring about 5 of each of those. So that covers the resistance potions. Again, feel free to tweak those numbers based on the fight your guild is on. Let's talk about situational consumes, because sometimes you find yourself in a bit of a pickle and you don't want to die and lose all your buffs and all that stuff. Free action potion times 5. Whipper Tuber, you can get these in Felwood. 5 or more of those. You can also use a Warlock Health Stone, just in case your health gets low and you can't use a major healing potion. Limited Invulnerability Potion times 5. Shadow Priests are notorious for ripping aggro because of Shadow Damage's high threat. So if a melee attacker comes to smack you in the face, you can be protected against that. Swiftness Potion, you probably don't need this, but if you're lacking behind on the Heigan safety dance, it could be good to catch up, as well as the leapfrog mechanic. Goblin Sapper Charge times 10 if you're an engineer for Anub'Rekhan. Thorium Grenade times 10 for trash pulls, and then Stratholme Holy Water, 10 or more of those if you're able to farm Stratholme for the AoE Undead packs. In terms of general consumes, I've messed this one up plenty of times. Bring your Sacred Candles so you can Power Ward Fortitude and Greater Shadow buff the entire raid. Bring over 40 of those. Dark and Demonic Runes, I'm going to be bringing over 20 of those. You can go through those really fast because of Shadow Priests. Kind of mana issues on longer fights, but if you rotate your cooldowns and use your wand every here and there, it's usually not too bad. Major Mana Potion, I'm going to be bringing over 30 of those because Shadow Priest uses lots of mana potions in order to sustain through longer fights. Nightfin Soup, beautiful 8 MP5 10-minute consumable, pretty cheap on the auction house. Bring over 20 of those. Mageblood Potion, really, really good mana regen consume. 15 of those. Brilliant Wizard Oil, 3 of those because they have 5 charges each that last 30 minutes. Greater Arcane Elixir, 15 of those. Real nice 30 spell power, helps you deal more damage. Elixir of Shadow Power, 20 of those because they're only 30 minutes versus an hour on Greater Arcane Elixir. A lot of extra shadow bonus damage. Flask of Supreme Power, this one's kind of optional. Maybe save this for when you're more comfortable, or if you're on a really hard fight that damage is lacking, you have it. I'm going to be bringing it just in case as a backup. Spirit and Swiftness of Zanza potions. If you have the correct reputation with the Zandalar tribe, you can get these on Yojamba Isle. 50 stam, 50 spirit, really nice for Shadow Priest, and the 20% move speed is great for some of the more move mechanic fights. Heavy Rune Cloth Band-Aid, 20 to 40 of those, and then bring at least 100 frost resistance unbuffed gear. You can get that through necklace, belt, cloak, rings, things like that. So I hope you're as excited to raid Naxx as I am. I will be raiding Naxx on my Shadow Priest and my Rogue. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/ExperiTV. Feel free to pop in anytime, ask questions, or just hang out. I always love meeting other people from the far-reaching ends of the Classic community. And best of luck with your guild, with your raid, and finishing out Classic. It's almost over. Who knows what's going to be next for the future? Maybe TBC comes back. I've been playing Shadowlands. It's a ton of fun. But enjoy the raid. Remember, at the end of the day, it's a video game. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be nice. So don't stress yourself out too much and do a good job in your raid. And wish you the best of luck. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.